able to train and support evaluators in being able to have those conversations around teaching. So Laura Kakuda is going to, as a lead district mentor, is going to take us kind of through their journey in the work around administrator evaluative training and support.
Yeah, it took us 7 years to develop our masterpiece, and we're very proud of it. It's a collaborative document. It took 7 years because we worked it out. We wanted to make sure the teachers had buy-in, the principals had buy-in, and our union had buy-in. So Bill wrote the 5 modules. Teachers given it 2 modules. The first 2 modules were about the document. Module A was about the document. Module B was just an overview of Danielson. Principals had to take all 5 modules the first year. What we did was we had to build trust. Teachers had our old evaluation system for 25 years. They said, is this going to be different? And we said, yeah. And we're going to show you. So we had Bill trained 100 trainers, 50 administrators, and 50 teachers. And we went out in pairs, and we trained the whole district in 3 different sections. It was powerful. Yeah, not with all open, loving arms, you know, but we had a lot of positive response. We had some naysayers, but they've gotten over it. You had to have Module 8. You had to have instruction on the document. Once you've gotten that, you can sign off. You can say, I don't want to hear you again, or positively, I get it. I understand it. This is wonderful. I will sign my statement of assurance. So they signed the statement of assurance saying, I don't need any more training, even though there's modules B, C, D, and E. They signed their statement of assurance, and they send it to my partner leader, Stacy Barkowski. We go online. They don't need any more training, and then they say, when do I want to start? We have a 4-year implementation plan. They could say, I'll start next year. I'll start the year after, the year after that, the year after that. In 4 years. So we didn't want to push them. We said, it's here to stay, but you tell me when you want to start. We thought that was respectful to teachers. Give them choice. The first year, about 1,000 teachers signed on. We're surprised. Very happily surprised. The second year, we had another 500. People are now asking if they can move out their statement of assurance. We tell them they can't move it back. Not too much further they have to go. But we said, yeah. And it's pretty exciting because they're hearing good things. So, and then we have an administrative training. We call that HR. So our administrators have been trained. Again, I told you the first year they had to have all 5 modules. And then since then, and we differentiate. We had elementary, secondary, special ed, and then our education, our curriculum directors. We try to be respectful of their time because we all know they're under a crunch too. So we try to embed it in their day, the training. So they have monthly meetings. We take 5 of those meetings and give them 2 hours of training. We are a teacher department, and so that was the other thing. You know, when we gave them their summer institute, CEC came to help us, but it was our teaching staff, our teaching department that led administration training. That was scary, but it's worked. And again, that kind of collaboration, they're listening to us, and they're listening to each other. And we're teaching them, we're not getting up and talking at them, we're letting them do what teachers do. We do workshops, we talk. So that's going very well. It is mandatory. The superintendent's got our back. He says, they've got to come. That helps a lot. We've got 3 parts to it. We have face-to-face contact with our administrators, and we have indirect, and then we have a professional look that we give them. This is what our training looks like. The first summer we had negotiation fatigue, so nothing. an institute. Because our administrators said, hey, I have to start using this plan now. So they were eager to come to our institute. We had 2 days, 12 hours. Last summer, and I don't know if any of you suffered, but we suffered cutbacks. So again, we're trying to be respectful. They know they wanted more training, but we cut it down. Our direct contact in the year, I told you it's embedded time. They have their pull-out meetings, and we just get 2 hours. Our directors of secondary and elementary have granted us time. So the first year, the administrators went through the training with their teachers. And then, aside from that, they had 6 more hours of training. They had 10 hours of academy training for the last 2 years. That's a good thing, because they're getting academy credit from the ROE, and they like that. The first year, many of our administrators were at a disadvantage. This book is old and worn, and Charlotte herself signed it. But we've been using this in the mentoring program, so a lot of our teachers were very familiar with it. Some of our principals were not, so they needed to catch up. So our first book study was the framework. The second book study we did was another book written by Charlotte. It's Talk About Teaching, and wonderful snippets, wonderful ideas for staff development. This year we're talking about conversations, how we're going to transform our district. Another indirect contact. Bill sets out, I don't know if you know Bill Boyce, he can talk. And he can write. So he writes 2 newsletters a month to all of our administrators. We also have impact videos. Our administrator said, what does it look like? How can I identify what a culture for learning looks like in a room when I go into the teacher's classroom? Charlotte did a nice job. She's got 8 hours of teachers teaching, and then she tells us what she sees. We like that. We have videos of our own teachers. So, you know, people are skeptics, they're pretty happy. Yeah, that's Charlotte's. Yeah, those are canned videos, that's really nice. Let's see some real teachers. So we've got lots of teachers, and lots of great people out there, and they've let me go into their classrooms. I videotape them teaching, bring the tapes back to our administrators, and then we look for components. We focus on 2 at meeting. That's been very good because they're also learning the value of context. You get 10 to 15 minutes of a teacher teaching, and what can you tell? Well, so much, but then they're understanding the need for the conversation. What's the context about what this teacher's doing? And then our department is offering site support. If somebody wants to know something and then they don't want to ask their bosses, they come to us. Stacy has gotten more phone calls than any other secretary in the district, and she's very helpful. She knows what she's doing, and she's also gone out with some of the other people in our department to the principals and supported them on our online system. Our whole evaluation process is online. So when you do an evaluation, an observation, you call up the forms, and then you put it online, and we all have an electronic portfolio. So that's pretty cool. Every teacher gets archived. So every teacher can go look at their own portfolio if they want to. And the principals can check on a teacher in their building. You can't do everybody in the district. I don't have access to anyone's but my own, but Bill has access, and so does the superintendent. So what do we teach them? We ask them what they need. We have surveys. They talk directly to us. We have people call in and say, I really would like to talk about this. They wanted to see teachers teaching, and so we responded by giving them the videos. They wanted to know how the other administrators see things, so we do an activity called calibrating the domains or the components, and they write down, what is evidence? What am I looking at? And they've gotten better, and they talk to each other about it. It's a great support system. We went over in the beginning all the protocols. How do we do informals? We didn't do informals. In our old system, you didn't have an informal observation. But now we really encourage them to do it because that's another entry point. So we're doing that a lot more. We don't do 22 components. We have 2 focus components in our district. We're doing 3C, engaging students in learning, and 2D, we're creating a culture for learning. That's what we're looking at every single classroom in the district. And then the teachers and the administrators decide what they want to focus on. So they're just going to pick another 2 components. So they're doing only 4. So when you say 22, wow, that's good. I mean, but we're not doing it that way. Again, we're trying to build our culture of trust and collaboration, so we're going to take baby steps. So I guess you want to know what's working. A lot. We have been changing our culture. We're very proud of it. We have embedded time. Our superintendent kicks off the year saying, we got to get this right. We got money. We got not a lot, but they buy us a $20 book. Hey, in our district, that's something to celebrate. All the principals get one, all the administrators. Our video sessions are great, and that's the biggest comment we get. We do ask for evaluations after every presentation, and that's the biggest, strongest point. They love to see their teachers. And again, the conversations that follow the observations are the best. Because when they talk about it, you know, sometimes we have a tendency to be quite harsh. We can be very critical. And when you're criticizing someone who's volunteered their time and let us into their classroom, their principals are going to say, wait a minute, this is a national board teacher. She's trying something different. That's why it might look like this. So context, it's great. It's great for the conversation. We offer the academy credit. They like that. And they love the time to talk. And what's good from our end is that Bill and our superintendent can go online and check which components are being discussed, who's in compliance, who's not, so we can see if we're getting it better and getting it right or not. We have improved greatly since last year. Well, now that they know that we can see if they're doing it right. But it's helpful to the administrators. They won't lose track. We don't have a secretary having to worry about did she file something, they get lost.
Additional information on educational impact. It actually is a company, an online company that has a data bank, has over 6,000 videos of a variety of things, not just in Charlotte, and as well as others, Marzano. They have assessment, they have response to intervention, lots of different ways. But educational impact has been talking with CEC, and so we're developing a partnership to be able to give a reduced rate to our CEC members if this is something that you want to be able to utilize as you go into your work. So that's something we're developing right now with them, and they're very eager to be able to do that also. But another resource that we're hoping to be able to do as we do more regional training is to link them right into our training so you can see how they look and how they could be facilitated, as Lord talked about.